Hello good day viewers. In this tutorial we are going to walk through 21 questions that are related to sine rule, cosine rule and also area of a triangle using sine rule. But before we start, it is important to know when to use sine rule or cosine rule. So let me explain that first. Alright, suppose we have a triangle here. I would like to explain sine rule first. You can use sine rule when you have two angles on one side. So let's assume we have an angle here, alpha, and we have another angle here, theta, on one side. But make sure that that side will have to be opposite to either of these two angles. So it should be either here or here. Let's assume the side is here. Let me call it X. So when you have two angles on one side opposite to one of the angles, you can always use sine rule. And the relationship is what? X over sine theta equal to, if you have another one here, for example, if you are looking for another one here, let's assume it is y, it will be y over sine alpha, right? So another situation is when you have two sides and one angle, but make sure that that angle is not an included angle. This is what I mean. If you have a triangle like this, you have two sides, x and y. An included angle is here, which is in between the two sides. But make sure it is either here or here. So let's assume we have theta here. So if you have situation like this, you can also use sine rule. What about cosine rule? You can use cosine rule whenever you have three sides. That is the first condition. So let me rename this as sine rule. So for cosine, if you have a triangle like this, and it happens you have all the sides, x, y, and z, you can always apply cosine rule. And when you have two sides and included angle, for example, we have a triangle like this, we have x, y, included angle is here. So if you have this situation, you can also use cosine rule. So now let us dive into the questions. Remember, there are 21. Just take your time and go through all of them. All right, here is our first question. We are given a triangle here. In the triangle ABC, the length of AC, where is AC? This is AC, is 15 centimeters. We are given angle ABC, which is 112. ABC, you can see that here. Angle BAC, BAC is 33 degrees. We are asked to find the length of BC, side BC. Let me mark it. BC, let me call it X. So what can we use here? Remember, I told you if you have two angles on one side opposite to one of the angles, you can always use sine rule. So we are going to use sine rule here. So it implies that the side we are looking for, which is X, I just mark it X. If not, you have to call it BC. So X divided by the sine of that angle opposite to the side, which is 33 degrees. This must be equal to this, which is 15, divided by sine of what? 112. All right, so to find X, you're going to multiply both sides by sine of 33, right? So X is equal to 15 multiplied by sine of 33 degrees divided by sine of 112 degrees. I'm going to plug everything into my calculator and find the value of X. And according to my calculator, X is equal to 8.8. Is it in centimeters? Yeah, centimeters. That is in one decimal place. I think condition is not given here. All right, since condition is not given, I just decided to leave it in one decimal place. Let us move on to question number 2. We have question number 2 here where we asked to find the area of this triangle. Remember, if you are asked to find the area of a triangle where you have two sides and included angle, you can always use sine rule. No, this is not sine rule, but you should apply sine ratio. So it will be area equal to 1 over 2 multiplied by the two sides, 7 and 6 together. Then you multiply by sine of 60 degrees. So this is the same thing as multiplying 7 by 6 multiplied by sine of 60 degrees. Whatever you get, you divide by 2. Because we have so many questions here, this is why I don't want to show you all the steps. Just multiply these 3 together and divide by 2. And this is approximately equal to 18.2 centimeter squared in 1 decimal place. Now let us move on to question number 3. Question number 3, we are asked to find the size of angle ABC. Why is it ABC? So we are talking about this particular angle here. Let me call it theta. Now we have 2 sides and 1 angle, so we can use sine rule here, right? So we can take this divided by sine of theta. So it will be 20 divided by sine of the angle we are looking for. This is equal to 18 divided by sine of 60 degrees. So how can we make sine of theta the subject? First of all, I would like to switch this and this. It's possible, right? Mathematically, we have 20 divided by 18. This is equal to sine of theta divided by sine of 60 degrees. Then I'm going to multiply both sides by sine of 60 degrees. So we have sine of theta equals 20 divided by 18 multiplied by sine of 60 degrees. Then, okay, let me simplify this before we take sine inverse to find our theta. And this is 0.96225. Let me write it here. 0.96225. This is sine of theta, remember. So theta itself will be sine inverse of 0.96225. And this is approximately equal to 74.21 degrees. So this is the angle we are looking for. Now let us move on to question number 4. Question number 4, we are asked to calculate the side length BC, which is this one. So this time around, you can see we have 2 sides and an included angle. Therefore, we have to use cosine rule. So BC, I'm going to call it a name X. According to cosine rule, that side we are looking for squared is equal to the sum of the squares of the other 2 sides, that is 23 squared plus 20 squared minus 2 times the product of these 2, that is 23, 20, then also multiplied by cosine of that angle 55 degrees. So let me simplify this first. So 2 multiplied by 23 multiplied by 20 multiplied by cosine of 55 degrees will give us 527.7 in 1 decimal place. So let me write minus here. 527.6. Okay, let me include in 2 decimal places 69. Then what is 23 squared plus 20 squared? This is 929. Remember, this is x squared. 929 minus 527.69. This is equal to 401.31. This is x squared, remember. So to find x, we are going to take square root of both sides. This is to the nearest whole number equal to 20 cm. But you have to indicate nearest whole number. Question number 5. Question number 5, we are asked to find the value of y. It is an angle y, right? It is opposite to this. We have this 2, so we can use sine rule. Therefore, 21 divided by sine of y, this is equal to 32.4 divided by sine of 84 degrees. So we're going to make this one the subject. And if you like, you can take reciprocals all the same. I even like using reciprocals. So you can write it as sine of y divided by 21. This is equal to sine of 84 degrees divided by 32.4. All the same. Then you multiply both sides by 21. So we have sine of y equal to 21 sine of 84 degrees divided by 32.4. So let me simplify this first. And this is equal to 0.644. Let me include 1 6. This is sine of y, remember? So to find y, you have to take sine inverse of both sides. Sine inverse of the whole of this will give us approximately 40.14 degrees. So this is the value of y that we are looking for. Moving on to question number 6. We are given two angles and one side, but this time around the side is not opposite to any of these two angles. So how can we do that? We have to find the third angle. But we know that the sum of all the three angles will be equal to 180 degrees. Therefore, just subtract these two angles from 180 degrees. So we have 180 degrees minus 40 minus 46. And that will give us 94 degrees, which implies that this angle here is 94 degrees. So we can work with this one and this one, right? So it will be x divided by sine of 46, which is opposite to the side x. This is equal to 20 divided by sine of 94 degrees. X equal to, you cross multiply or you multiply both sides by this. It will be 20 sine of 46 degrees divided by sine of 94 degrees. Use your calculator, press everything. And this is to one decimal place, 14.4 cm. So this is the value of x we are looking for. Question number 7. We are given two sides and an included angle, but what are we looking for? We are asked to find the area of the triangle XYZ. So the area will be what? 1 divided by 2 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 10 multiplied by sine of 79 degrees. So as we did earlier, we're going to take this 3 first, then we divide by 2. So it will be 8 multiplied by 10 multiplied by sine of 79 degrees. Whatever we obtain, we divide by 2. And therefore, the area is approximately equal to 39.3 in one decimal place. What is the unit? cm squared, 1 dp. That is the A part. Then the B part, we are asked to find the side length of YZ. Talking about this one. So we are going to use cosine rule. I think, let me give it a name. Let me call it x. So x squared is equal to 8 squared plus 10 squared, 8 squared plus 10 squared minus 2 times 8 multiplied by 10, then multiplied by cosine of that angle included, 79 degrees. So let me simplify this. And this is equal to minus, we have 30.53. Let me leave it in 2 decimal places. Then 8 squared plus 10 squared will give us 164. So 164 minus 30.53, that will give us 133.47. Then finally, x will be the square root of this, 133.47. And this is equal to 11.6 cm to one decimal place. Oh, we're supposed to make the work in here, but let me just drag it down all the same. All right. Now let us move on to question number 8. Question number 8, we are asked to find this angle here, which is marked y. So we have this opposite to this and this, so we can use sine rule. I think, let me leave this for you. 10 divided by sine of y equal to 15 divided by sine of 64 degrees. Work out for the value of y. Now, question number 9, we asked to find the side length AB. Okay, talking about this one, let me call it x. Even this one, I'm not going to solve it for you, but let me show you how to find this. Remember that the sum of all the three angles will be 180. So 180 minus 31 minus 96, the two angles, this will be 53. So to find the missing side, which is x, you take x divided by sine of 53 degrees equal to 8.4 divided by sine of 31 degrees. You make x the subject, 8.4 times sine of 53 degrees divided by sine of 31 degrees. Use your calculator, simplify this. All right, here is question number 10. ACD is a triangle and B is a point on AC. AB is 8 cm, BC is 6 cm, angle BCD is 48 degrees, and angle BDC is 50 degrees. We asked to find the length of BD. Where is BD? BD. Okay, we are talking about this one. Let me mark it X. That is the first question. So how can we find it? You can see that this is opposite to this, and we have this to this. So let me answer this for you. So it will be X divided by sine of 48 degrees. This is equal to 6 divided by sine of 50. So x will be equal to 6 sine of 48 degrees divided by sine of 50 degrees. So let me use my calculator. And x equal to 5.8 cm in 1 decimal place. And we have to find the side length AD. Why is AD? AD, talking about this one, let me call it y. Alright, to find the value of y, I think we can first of all find this angle, which is an exterior angle of this triangle. An exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the two interior opposite angles. So by adding 50 and 48 together, you shall obtain this missing side, which is going to be 98. This is one way to find it. And secondly, you know that by subtracting these two angles from 180 degrees, you shall obtain this angle here. An angle on a straight line will be 180. Just subtract that from 180, you shall obtain this one as well. So you can see that we have this side, which we have obtained recently. We have this one, and we have an included angle, so we can use cosine rule. Okay, let's do that. So it will be y squared equal to the square of the two angles, two sides, sorry. We have 8 and x. We have 8 squared plus 5.8 squared for x. That is what I have obtained recently. Minus 2 times 8 times 5.8. Then multiply by cosine of that angle, which is 98, right? Which is this one. 98 degrees. So let me simplify everything. The whole of this equal to 110.6. This is y squared. Then y will be equal to the square root of 110.6. And finally, y equal to, we have 10.5 in 1 decimal place. And lastly, we asked to find the area of triangle ABD. ABD, let's find it. ABD. All right, we can do that. Since we have this and included angle, it will be 1/2 multiplied by x multiplied by 8 multiplied by sine of 98. So the area will be 1 divided by 2 multiplied by 8 multiplied by x. Remember, it is 5.8. 5.8 multiplied by sine of that included angle, which is 98 degrees. So I'm going to press everything as well here, and this is approximately equal to 22 0.97 cm squared. Now let us move on to question number 11. Question number 11, we asked to find the size of angle XZY. XZY. We are talking about this angle here. Let me call it alpha. To do that, we can use cosine rule because all the three sides are given. So, and the side opposite to the angle we are looking for is 17 squared equal to 22 squared plus 20 squared minus 2 times 22 times 20 multiplied by cosine of that angle we are looking for. So to make cosine of alpha the subject, cosine of alpha will be equal to 22 squared plus 20 squared minus 17 squared divided by 2 times 22 multiplied by 20, right? Remember, this is negative. Once you take it to the other side, it becomes positive. Then you take this one inside, it becomes negative. Then lastly, you divide by the coefficient of cosine alpha. So that will give us this one. So let me use my calculator and press everything here. And this is 0.676. Let me continue here. Cos alpha equal 0.676. And alpha equal to cos inverse of 0.676. And cos inverse of 0.676 is approximately equal to 47.47 degrees. So this is what we are looking for. Question number 12, we are asked to find the smallest angle in this triangle. We have three angles, all of them are missing, but we are looking for that smallest one. All right, you should know that the smallest angle in any kind of triangle is that angle opposite to the smallest side. So this is the shortest side, which is 9 cm. Therefore, this angle here must be the smallest one. Let me call it theta. I'm not going to solve it for you, but let me write down the formula for you. You should know that cosine of that angle must be equal to 17 squared plus 13 squared, these two other sides, then minus that side, which is 9 squared. The whole of this divided by 2 multiplied by 17 multiplied by 13. If you simplify this, you take cos inverse of both sides, you find that angle you're looking for. And let me write down the answer for you. It will be 31.47 degrees. Now let us move on to question number 13. Question number 13 is here. Two ships A and B leave a port at 11. A travels on a bearing of 80 degrees at a speed of 25 km per hour. B travels on a bearing of 152 at a speed of 20 km per hour. A, work out the distance between A down to B at 14. That is after 3 hours. First of all, let me make some sketch here. What will be the distance from the port, because this is the port, to A? Remember, A was moving on a speed of 25 km per hour. So remember that distance is equal to speed multiplied by the time. So distance of A, distance with respect to A, will be equal to the speed, which is 25, multiplied by the time, which is 3, which is equal to 75 kilometers. So this is 75 kilometers, very important. Then for that of B, distance with respect to B will be the speed, which is 20, multiplied by the time, which is also 3 hours, and this will give us what, 60 kilometers. So this is 60 kilometers. We're asked to find the distance between A down to B. So let me connect these 2 points together, and I'm going to call this X. You know that this angle here is very important. And how can we find it? Remember that the first one move on a bearing of what? 80 degrees. Therefore, from here to here is 80 degrees. And the second one, move on a bearing of 152 degrees. It implies that from here down here is 152 degrees, right? All right, so if you remove 80 from this 152 degrees, you shall obtain this one. So that's what we are going to do here. 152 minus 80, that will give us 72 exactly. So I don't want to work with this big angle. Rather, I'm going to write 72 degrees here. So you can see that we can now confidently use cosine rule to find the x. So x squared, or I can say x equal to the square root of, because in the end we have to take square root, 60 squared plus 75 squared minus 2 multiplied by 60 multiplied by 75 multiplied by cosine of that angle, which is 72 degrees. Therefore, x equal to everything into my calculator, and this is approximately 80.3 cm. Is it in centimeters? No, in kilometers. So we have just answered the first question in just 2 lines. Let us move on to the B part. We are asked to work out the bearing of B from A. Though this is not part of our scheme, but let's just do that. It is part of trigonometry. So we want to find the bearing of B from A. What does it mean? It means we are going to calculate the angle from the north of A clockwise till the line leading to B. So we need to find this angle. And how can we do that? First of all, I would like to call this angle theta is very important. You should know that this angle and this angle always added to 180. So if this is 80, this must be 100. All right, so let me find angle theta. It will be sine of theta divided by 60 kilometers. Sine theta divided by 60 is equal to sine 72 divided by x. Sine 72 divided by x, but x is 80.3. Sine theta is equal to 60 multiplied by sine of 72 degrees divided by 80.3. Let me simplify this. This is equal to 0.7106, and theta will be equal to sine inverse of 0.7106. Let me find that angle, and this is approximately equal to 45.28 degrees. But remember that angle at a point is 360 degrees. So to find this angle at the back, which is the bearing, we are going to subtract these two angles from 360 degrees. So let me make a conclusion here. The bearing of is equal to 360 degrees minus 100 degrees minus 45.28. These are the two angles we are going to subtract. And this is equal to 214.72 degrees. Now let us move on to question number 14. Question number 14, we're asked to find the size of the angle ABD. Let us locate it. ABD, this particular angle here. First of all, I would like to find the side length. Let me call it x. It will be x divided by sine of 50 degrees equal to, let me use this side, 8.4 divided by sine of 68 degrees. Therefore, x will be equal to 8.4 sine of 50 divide by sine of 68 degrees, and this is equal to 6.94 in 2 decimal places. So to find this angle, let me call it theta. We can use cosine rule, and I'm going to do that directly. It will be cosine of that theta is equal to 6.5 squared plus x squared. 6.5 squared plus x squared, which is let me leave it as 6.9 squared, the minus 5 squared, divide by 2 multiplied by 6.5 multiplied by 6.9, and this is 0.723, and theta will be equal to cos inverse of 0.723, and this to the nearest degree equals 44 degrees, nearest degree. Is that what we are looking for? Yes, we are done with this question. Let us move on to question number 15. Question number 15, we are told that the area of this triangle is 25 cm squared, and we are asked to calculate the perimeter. So you can find this side length, then you add all the sides together to find the perimeter. To do that, first of all, we need to find this angle. Let me call it theta, and we can do that by using the formula area equal to 1 divided by 2 multiplied by the two sides multiplied by sine of that angle theta. Area is already given to us as 25. This is equal to 80 sine theta. Okay, let me say 80 divided by 2 will give us 40, right? So it will be 40 sine theta, and therefore sine theta would be equal to 25 divided by 40, and theta itself will be sine inverse of 25 divided by 40, right? And this is approximately equal to 38.68 degrees. So this is the angle right here. But remember, we are looking for what? The perimeter. Therefore, we need this side length as well. I think, let me call it x. So according to cosine rule, x squared will be equal to 10 squared plus 8 squared minus 2 times 10 times 8 multiplied by cosine of that angle which we have just obtained, 38.68 degrees. So let me use my calculator, press everything here, and this is equal to 38.57 in 2 decimal places, and x will be equal to the square root of this, 38.57, and this is approximately equal to 6.2. So we have just obtained this side length as 6.2. So the perimeter will be the sum of all of these three sides. Therefore, the perimeter is equal to what? We have 10, 8, and 6.2. 10, 8, 6.2. Therefore, the perimeter is equal to what? 24.2 cm. Question number 16. Question number 16, we are given a tower here with height h. We have two angles of elevation from two different shapes, 1 and 2. We are asked to calculate the height of the tower. So how can we do that? I think we can first of all find this angle here, because this is a straight line, right? And angles on a straight line equals 180 degrees. So once you subtract 34 from 180 degrees, you shall obtain 146. We have 1, 2. Remember that this is a triangle, so we can find this angle as well. 180 minus 20 minus this 146, and therefore this would be 14 degrees. Let me find this side first, which is the hypotenuse. Let me call this x. So to find this x first, I think we can relate this one and this, then this side and this angle together. All right, let's do that. It will be x divided by sine of 20 degrees equal to 24 divided by sine of 14. Therefore, x equal to 24 multiplied by sine of 20 degrees divided by sine of 14 degrees, and x will be equal to, this is 33.9 cm. Right, so we have obtained this side. So to find this height, we can use sine ratio, which is sine of this, which is opposite, divided by the hypotenuse, right? So we say that sine of 24 degrees equal to opposite divided by the hypotenuse, which is x. Oh, this should be 34, sorry. And hypotenuse is 33.9. And h will be equal to 33.9 multiplied by sine of 34 degrees. And h equal to 18.9. Is this cm? Yes. So the height of this tower, okay, it's in meters, sorry. The height of this tower is 18.9 meters. Let us move on to question number 17. A boat located at a position X is running out of fuel. There are two ports located at X and Z. The boat must refuel as soon as possible. How much closer is the boat to the port Y than the port Z? Okay, we need the difference. We need to find this and this, then take the difference, right? Let me call this A and call this B. Let me start with A. Remember, we can find this angle because the two angles are available. Let's subtract them from 180 degrees. So this will be 75 degrees. All right. So let's start by finding the value of A. So we have A divided by sine of 45 degrees equal to 28 divided by sine of 75 degrees. And hence A is equal to 28 multiplied by sine of 45 degrees divided by sine of 75 degrees. And therefore A is equal to 20.5. Is it in centimeter? Yeah, in miles. And for B, we relate it with what? Sine of 60, which is equal to 28 divided by sine of 75 degrees. Therefore, B is equal to 28 sine of 60 degrees divided by sine of 75 degrees. And this is approximately 25.1. So the difference would be 25.1 minus 20.5. That is the difference, right? Which is equal to 4.6 miles. And this is our answer. Question number 18. In a quadrilateral ABCD, AD is 7 cm, AB is 8 cm, and CD is 14 cm. Angle BAD is 150 degrees, and angle ADC is 70 degrees. We asked to calculate the length of BC. Where is it? BC. So let me call it X. Okay, so how can we do that? Let me partition this to form two triangles. If this is alpha, we can call this beta. But we know that the sum of alpha and beta will be what? 150 degrees. And I would like to find this side. Let me call it y. So by using cosine rule, we can see that y squared is equal to 7 squared plus 14 squared, right? Because these two sides are given an included angle, so we can find y minus 2 times 7 multiplied by 14 multiplied by cosine of 70 degrees. So let me simplify the right hand side altogether. And this is equal to 177.9. And y will be equal to the square root of 177.9. And this is equal to 13.3 in one decimal place. So we have obtained this one. But remember, what is our target? Our target is to find this. So I think, let me find beta. I can say that sine beta over 14, right? So sine beta over 14 is equal to, since I have y, I can use sine of 70 degrees divided by the side length which I have just obtained, which is y, 13.3. So sine beta is equal to 14 multiplied by sine of 70 degrees divided by 13.3. The whole of this is equal to 0.989, but I'm going to take sine inverse of that value, which is going to give us sine inverse of 0.989. So beta would be equal to e to 1.49 degrees. But remember that alpha plus beta will give us 150 degrees. So what will be the value of alpha? Alpha will be equal to 150 degrees, that is the total angle there, minus e to 1.49. And this is equal to 68.51 degrees. This is alpha. We are almost done. And lastly, to find this, we are going to use cosine rule. Since we have this side length, we have this, and now we have the included angle. So let me see if I have space here. Okay, we have. So that side we are looking for, x squared is equal to 8 squared plus y squared. But remember, y is 13.3 squared minus 2 times 8 times 13.3 multiplied by cosine of that angle, which is alpha. This is 162.9, and x will be equal to the square root of 162.9, and x finally equal to 12.76 in centimeters, right? cm. Question number 19. Honestly, I'm tired. I'm going to leave question 19, 20, and 21 for you to try. You can see the questions here. Thank you for watching. Do share to your learning colleagues, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more exciting videos. Bye bye.